Welcome back everyone, and today's video will be a couple of unboxings and just showing y'all some stuff I've picked up recently. It will also be just a weird angled video because I, again, cannot find my camera. The last time I filmed a video and had to do it on my phone because I couldn't find it, I did end up finding it, but for some reason I can't find it again, so I will be once again filming on my phone and hopefully the quality is okay. Very excited for this haul. It's stuff that I've accumulated for the past few months and weeks. And some stuff is still coming, but I didn't really want to wait since this is taking up a lot of space on my little dresser drawer here. So I'll go ahead and get started. So I'll do the figures last. I want to show off some of the anime that I recently found. Okay, hopefully that is an okay angle. So I picked up a couple things, both from Half Price Books, which has been very good to me recently, and online sales. So if you're not familiar, summertime is really when a lot of the licensing companies for anime tend to have really good sales. So if you're looking into picking up some items, I would highly recommend going to their actual websites. Crunchyroll, Sentai Filmworks especially, they have amazing sales for a lot of their stuff. You can get anime 12 episodes or up as cheap as $12, sometimes even $10. So would highly recommend to start looking into getting some series you've been eyeing. But I'll start with some of the, well actually, from those sales I picked up Hetalia World Stars, which is the 7th season of the Hetalia series. I do have the other seasons that I picked up back when I was in the fan base. And the seasons were more or less releasing at a timely rate of once a year, I believe. That is no longer the case. There was a significant gap between this one and the previous season from what I remember, and I didn't really watch it, to be quite honest, because of that. By that point I had fallen off the fandom. I still enjoy the series, but it's not something, really in my radar there that I care about, at least compared to other series. So, but I did want to complete my anime collection for it, and I'm happy that they're releasing this on Blu-ray. I don't think there was a DVD version, and if there was, I did not see it. But this was fairly cheap. I think it was under $20, and considering these episodes tend to be 5 minutes long, including the opening and ending theme songs, I think that's fair because there's only 12 episodes in this. For anyone curious, my favorite character was America, and I also enjoyed Russia and some of the smaller characters as well. So very happy to have this, and I'm completely shocked that it's kind of nice to see, because I was curious and I looked on Tumblr, where I used to roam in the fan base, to see how active the fan base was, and it's still fairly active, I would say. So good on the Hetalia fans for keeping this series going. I know there's some issues with it, and some stuff didn't age well, but I still think it's a good little comedy. So there's that. That was from Crunchyroll. Also from Crunchyroll, I picked up Kado, The Right Answer. I became interested in this series, even though I've never watched it, years and years ago, because the figure of the main character was quite pretty. I wanted to buy it, but I couldn't justify it because I had never seen it before, and I prefer not to buy stuff from series I'd never seen before unless the design is just to die for. It's only 12 episodes, I believe. It had fairly good reviews from what oh yeah, this is no longer a valid thing. Oh, those are cool discs. But yeah, it had fairly good reviews. I think most people were enjoying it up until the ending, and some people didn't like the ending, other people thought it was fine. But it had an interesting premise about this alien that comes to Earth on a giant cube, and I think tells humanity that humanity is going to die unless they do something. I can't recall. Oh, it's Toei Animation behind Dragon Ball Z and One Piece. Interesting. I didn't know that. But yeah, I became interested because this main character had a figure when this released. And I found it extremely cheap. I think he came out retail price. He might have been about $200, and I found him for $70. He really bombed because this series just wasn't popular. And I was very tempted, but I ended up not buying it. Kind of regret that now, but also at the same time I don't have room for him because he has a very flowy cape. But I'm at least interested in having the anime. This was extremely cheap. I think it was like $10, $12, something like that. So I decided to go ahead and pick it up. And then excited for this one, Trinity Blood. This is such a classic. I watched this back when it was on, it wasn't Toonami, I think it aired on Adult Swim. It has such a unique art style. It's beautiful to look at. And from what I recall, because I haven't rewatched this series since, it has a very interesting plot. And there's action. It's about vampires, which is always a plus for me. So yeah, very happy about this one. My light's kind of bright. Let me tone that down. All of these have the Funimation codes that don't work anymore. But yeah, just look at that. Such pretty artwork. And I'm happy they put this on Blu-ray. This is definitely one of those series that I would 100% want in high definition. Look at that. Gorgeous. You just don't get a lot of anime that kind of goes this route with their art style. It's probably very hard to animate, so I understand, but I miss it. I miss this very stylized stuff. You can tell how old this is from the like residue on the cases. That's so funny. I probably should check the disc conditions, because once they get a bit old, they do start to get markings. Yeah, these have some markings, but I think it's not damaged. It's easily wipeable, so I'm not going to worry about it. If I end up finding one that's pretty damaged and won't play, I'll just contact customer service. But that's my Crunchyroll haul. It's not a lot. Moving on to the used anime, and also one manga. I went to a new location in my area for half price books and scored. I was speechless when I left. So first off, I did pick up this from their manga section, Natsume's Book of Friends. This is a series I hold very dear to my heart. I love it. It's very long though. I don't have the space to collect all of it, but I am willing for $5 to just have volume 1. I think I've explained before that for manga, because, you know, a lot of it has a ton of volumes, and if you don't have space for it, I tend to just buy the first volume so I remember that it exists. I don't forget about a series that I really like. And the condition was really good. If you are curious, this is a supernatural series about a boy who inherits a book of names from a bunch of yokai his grandmother had associated with, and now they come after him because for yokai, their name having control over their autonomy. So if you know their name and, you know, you basically possess it, you can control them, and they don't like that. But it's not scary or anything. I mean, there's some of the stories that are a little frightening, but overall it's just a very good character-driven story, and really love it. It's super popular in Japan too. Then a while back, I thought I included this in my anime ASMR walkthrough, but I guess I forgot to put the clip in, because right after I filmed that, I visited one location and found this. I'd been eyeing it and I missed out when Crunchyroll was having the sale on it. It was $20, I think, on Crunchyroll, and it sold out before I could buy it. So I'm happy to have it for $22 and some change. The discs were in great condition. I appreciated the cashier showing them to me to make sure I was still okay with the purchase. And I'm fine just having season 1, because I heard season 2 was not as good. This is about a demon lord from another world, basically isekai'd into the real world, so the opposite of normal isekai stories. And it's a comedy. It's him getting used to the real world while also being this very intense demon lord. Quite funny. I remember really enjoying this one. And I think right now, a lot of these, yeah, the like anime classics, this is a Funimation thing. So Crunchyroll, I think, is trying to just deplete all of their stock and sell it so that they can rebrand and put their logo on it. So if you were interested in some of these titles, definitely keep an eye out, because Crunchyroll is definitely going to put them on sale to just get rid of the remaining stock. But so happy to have that. And then, oh my goodness, this was the same location I found Natsume's Book of Friends. I stumbled upon the Anime Legends version of Gundam 00 Season 1 and Season 2. I have Season 1 on Blu-ray. I was very lucky to find that for a good price. Season 2, though, is very difficult to find, even on DVD. And if you do find it, it can be very expensive. People are just not willing to sell it below $50 or below like $80. So the fact that I found it for $24.99 was I was speechless. I walked in there not expecting to find much. I was primarily looking for manga, but I peeked into their anime section, and when I saw these on the shelf, I was ecstatic. And, you know, obviously I checked the price because I was expecting it to show me like $100, but it was a very reasonable price. Now, I will say, this being a used item, the condition was not the best. Season 1... Ooh, I have a suspicion that 2 of the discs are not legitimate. Like maybe someone switched them out or something. But as you can see, it's quite pixelated. I did put this into my computer and it does play, and it doesn't have the standard bootleg black disc at the bottom. But due to the art, and I've tried looking at pictures online of people selling this particular set of discs, because this is part 1 and these 2 are part 2. I do think this might be a bootleg. Because the logos are good, but it's the anime art that's quite pixelated. Even on this guy. Oops, snap. Those are really the only flaws, and I consider just, you know, dealing with it because it's not a big deal. I already have season 1 on Blu-ray. I'm not going to be too upset if I just have this, you know, like that. But I did go ahead and buy a part 2 because the discs are the same, so I can just buy a part 2 volume online, which is like $5. To replace these 2, and I'll have a complete legitimate set, which is pretty exciting. Still thinking about whether or not I'm going to keep it. I just got both because, you know, it felt wrong to just buy one. So I may sell this set back once I have the other discs in, but we'll see. But yeah, Gundam 00, it's the Gundam series I remember the most, and I haven't rewatched it in a while, so I do definitely have to rewatch it because I forgot a ton of the plot. But other than, I think, is it Gundam Seed and Iron-Blooded Orphans? Those are the main 3 that I watched when I was younger and I really enjoyed. And I've seen, I think, 2 or 3 of the really OG Gundam series just because I was curious. And then obviously Witch of Mercury, which I saw recently, is also really good. But yeah, I just enjoy mecha series and I love Gundam, so happy to add this to my collection. Season 2 was more of a problem. I don't know what it is about season 2, but no matter where I go, there's issues. So basically, the discs were fine. They were all legitimate. The only issue was part 4, which is unfortunately the hardest part to find in individual volumes, were damaged. I don't think this particular disc was too damaged, but the last one was. It had a very significant mark on it. So what I did is I went on Amazon and I was lucky and found a part 4 for under $20, and I bought it, and this disc was still damaged. So it played better than the other one, so I returned that one and kept this one, which I know is not the most ethical thing to do, but I feel like I got scammed, so. Even with the amount of money I paid for those extra parts to replace the problem discs, I still think I got a very good deal on these. But I will say, after, you know, seeing that, I went online and kind of researched to see if these anime legend titles had a lot of issues. And yes, when they released, there were a lot of defects on a lot of these cases or box sets. So if you do decide to go for the DVDs, which would be the cheaper option than trying to find the Blu-ray for season 2, just be careful. Definitely check the discs as soon as you get them and make sure there's no damage, because I think part of it is that these sets are just old as well. So at some point DVDs will start to corrode if there's any residue on them. And from what I read, the markings on this are disc rot is the description that I saw. And I can't recall what causes it. It may have been moisture. But yeah, I'll take good care of this as much as I can, and then I'm still going to try and find season 2 for a good price. But for now, my hunt is over. I am so happy I finally have the second season. It was so random, and I thank the universe for giving me that opportunity. And Hellgirl came before I finished editing this video, so I'm just going to quickly add it, as well as some stuff I found at Half Price Books recently. So here is the copy that came. I got this for $40, which is such a good price. You really can't find this under $60, and really that's the price I was finding it from Japan. And I just wasn't willing because even though these are out of print, I'm just, you know, with the quality and everything, I'm just not willing to pay that price. So I was very grateful when the seller for this particular set offered a cheaper price on Mercari. Look at that, so gorgeous. I love this series. It's very interesting how the manga does not have that style at all. If you've ever seen the actual Hellgirl manga, it's very different. But all the discs I've already checked, they are legitimate and they are in perfect condition. So I'm very, very happy to finally have this. There is a second season that is dubbed. Everything after that I don't believe was ever dubbed, so I'm not really interested in getting it. I never watched those episodes either, so I don't have a lot of attachment to them. So yeah, I really wanted to at least have the first season, and now I do. And I do apologize for my hands. I was spray painting stuff, so you may see that they're covered in black. Next, I found these two items at Half Price Books today. I went in there to see if the Gundam 00 parts that I remember that this location having were parts 2, because that's the one I currently need. I decided to go ahead and just get a replacement for that one copy that I have, where the part 2 discs just looked really off. They didn't have it, but I ended up stumbling upon this, which is very surprising. And the cashier said they just got this in yesterday. It's only $15, and I was curious. I went ahead and got it, one, because it was cheap. 2, even though case closed, you do have to be careful with. I think I did a video of it a long time ago. But when this went out of print, there were a ton of bootlegs out in the market right away. But the reason I went ahead and bought this is because it had the Funimation postcard inside when I looked. So I figured it would be legitimate. And I think they are. The discs themselves look a bit faded, but the logo does not. So that makes me think this is just a stylistic choice. They're also in great condition, no scratches. The pamphlet of the cover feels like the proper paper, not that really stiff, glossy paper. So I'm going to go ahead and say this is legitimate. It is the Viridian collection, which I think I had initially bought like season 3 or 4 of that version. And then I had to return it because it wasn't real. So here's the season 2 that I have. And I initially got this because I wanted to see if it would be better to have this than this one. This case is a little thicker because I couldn't remember the condition of my season 2 discs. But you know what? I think I actually like this version better. I like all the different artwork in it. All the discs have very specific art too that I enjoy a lot more than the Viridian collection. Like, see, you get all this other artwork in it. And then the discs, and my discs are in perfect condition as well, so I think I'm going to keep this then and just sell this back. I could just return it, but this location's kind of far, so I'd rather not. And then the last thing I found was Devils and Realists, which after looking online, it doesn't seem like Volume 1 is that sought after, or it's not rare. When I initially looked it up in the store, it seemed like it was. Because if you look at it on Amazon, it's the cheapest copy is $28. So for those of you unaware, this manga is out of print, and that's probably why. But Half Price Books online has a couple copies, and I'm sure you can find a couple volumes for cheap online still. The anime is still pretty cheap too. But I did enjoy this anime when I first watched it, and I figured, well, let me get the manga, because I was never willing to buy the anime because it was like a 6 or 7 anime. So I wasn't like super dedicated to it. I just really enjoyed the artwork, and I heard the manga was quite good, that it's really a shame they never continued with the anime. So just to remind myself that it exists, I went ahead and picked up Volume 1. So yeah. I wish I could remember what this was about. I think it very much gave me BL vibes. It's about all these male demons going after the main character because there was something that attracted them to him. It may have had to do with his blood lineage or something, but they wanted something from him, and I can't remember what it was. But yeah, those are the 3 additions to my collection. So those are all the anime that I will be adding to my collections. Let's move on to the figures. So I pre-ordered Natsume's Book of Friends Nendoroid of Takashi Natsume, which is the main character, from Ami Ami a while back, and he arrived, I think, last month. This came with it. I stopped collecting the Ami Ami cards, but this one's so pretty. I might just keep it, even though I really don't need to. But let's see. Alright, so here is the Nendoroid box. I do appreciate how they're smaller now. Unfortunately, that means they're not going to put as many accessories in these boxes, which is a shame. But it is licensed, has all these little stickers, and I know the original Natsume Nendoroid is quite expensive, so that's kind of why I decided to pre-order this one. I've fallen away from Nendoroids because I ended up noticing that I just don't go back and change their poses a lot. They're not the easiest to pose. They're quite finicky, you know, they tip over because they're top heavy. So I never liked going in there and changing their posing. That changed once I got the Nendoroid body that I used on my Iruma-kun Nendoroid. So I figured, well, let me give them another shot. Because right now I only have two. I have my original Mikazuki Munechika and Iruma. And I pre-ordered this before I had bought the scale figure of Natsume. So I just was really wanting something for Natsume because I love him. Alright, each Nendoroid still comes with the little instruction booklet, which just tells you what it comes with. Yeah, that's it. Cool. There he is. Oh, so cute. And I do appreciate he's wearing the kimono, or yukata, whichever. I think it's a yukata. Oh, look at him. He's so cute. Ooh. I'm not going to go into too in-depth like I used to do, just because, you know, most of these Nendoroids are pretty straightforward. You really just need to know what parts they have. And then you have to separate the bangs from the faceplate in order to get this last plastic piece off. That's intended to help avoid paint transfer while it's in the packaging. He's quite adorable. So he comes with the faceplate of him putting the name of the yokai in his mouth and releasing it, which is so great. Love that. It's such a beautiful thing that he does. His kind of more serious, unamused face. The arms that go along with this face, that's just the gesture that he does when he releases the yokai's name to them. I'm assuming that's a holding hand because it's a little curved. And then we have two Nyanko senseis. Technically, I can't remember his name. It's not Nyanko sensei, it's a different character. But it looks the same except black, so that's cool. The actual Book of Friends, and then some bended arms. I'm not going to put him together because that's going to take too long, but here's kind of what you can see that he can do. Yeah, to hold the book. So cute. I love him. And then on the back is the Nendoroid base so that they can stand on their own. It does come with an extra neck joint, so do not lose that because it's very useful, especially if you want to use the separate bodies at some point. Oh wow, they have less holes in them than they used to. You know why that is. Guess it's been a while for me since I've bought an Nendoroid, so seeing all these changes is quite eye-opening. I can't remember if Iruma's was like this too. But yeah, very cute. I love him. He'll go great probably next to my Iruma Nendoroid on my male figure shelf. So cute. I'll look into getting him a body. That way he can be a lot more versatile, because obviously you can't dress him up or anything. He's stuck in his outfit like this, and I would much prefer to give him something else. All right, next figure I have, I might have to zoom out for this one quite a bit. So this one's very exciting for me. I already got my Sora figure, but this was pre-ordered before I did. So I got Natsume from AmiAmi. I got this from Tokyo Otaku Mode, and they did actually send a little gift, which is really nice. They sent this clear file for their branding, and on the back is this really cute art. So that's nice of them. I've not seen that. First I thought it was just a bonus for buying this specific figure, but that wouldn't make sense. So yeah, really cool. The angles for this video are about to get really weird, but yes. So this is Kingdom Hearts 2 figure of Sora by the company Formism. Oh, that's just the style. Who made this? Formism, I'm pretty sure, is the style of the figure, like the... Oh, Clamp Studio? I might just open him from the bottom because he has that triangular opening, and I prefer to open figures from the bottom just because it looks neater. And the box isn't much to speak about. Oh, there's tape. Here's the base. Oh, wow. Very carefully. Pull him out. His Keyblade. So cool. And even though I already have a Sora figure, I'm happy to have one with his Kingdom Hearts 2 outfit, because that's my favorite. Well, that's a lie. The Halloween Town skin is my favorite, but those are a little harder to come by. So here's the base. It's plastic, you know, it's already got some scuffs on it, so it's not the most expensive thing. It does have licensing on the bottom. Disney, TM, Square Enix, made in China. I'm assuming this is... Oh, it's pretty tight in there, so that's nice. You really got to press down. Oh, wow, look at him. He's so cool. His face looks a lot better, too. I was looking at pictures from people on my figure collection, and his face was making me uncomfortable. It kind of still does. His lips are a little, but if you don't pay attention to it too much, it's not that bad. He looks really good. Now, obviously, this is not the most expensive figure, so there are some, you know, cheap-looking paint lines here and there, but overall, I am satisfied. He looks really cool. And it's hard to get Kingdom Hearts figures that are them in kind of a fight pose, other than the action figures. I feel like that's all Square Enix ever made is action figures, which are great, but you know, sometimes you just want a cool figure that's in a really cool pose with some effects, and you'll be satisfied. So here's the Keyblade. Very light. Feels hollow. I almost put it in the wrong way. I thought it was facing down, but it's facing up. There are notches in there. You can see the shape of the hole, so you know how to put it in there. So very self-explanatory. Really cool figure, though. I love it. Very happy to have gotten him. I hope they make more Kingdom Hearts figures like this. And he's a good size. I would say he's about the size of maybe a prize figure. About 8 to 9 inches tall. But yeah, he's a good size. He was, I think, $50, and then obviously with the shipping, he probably came out to $70. I can't remember. I think I had a discount on Tokyo Otaku Mode, and that's the only reason I got him. But I'm satisfied for that price. I think this is a cool figure. So, really nice. All right, let's move on. The last thing I have to show y'all is not anime related, but I wanted to include it in this because it's been a while since I bought a Monster High doll, and it is something that I still collect. So I wanted to open it up on camera because I'm excited to kind of feel her and have her in my hands. This is the Scary Sweet Birthday Draculaura. I think all the dolls in this collection honestly look really good, but I don't care for their color scheme for the most part. or the characters. So I did just get Draculaura. She was up for pre-order before she showed up in stores. I don't even think they're in stores yet. So I got her on Amazon. It said it wasn't going to arrive till late June, but she went up for pre-order shortly after I ordered her, and that said it was going to show up earlier, so I went ahead and pre-ordered another one, and she did come earlier. But it was wonky, so I waited for the second one, and thankfully the second one was better. So here she is. I did notice they changed the style of the box, which honestly I think is appreciated because the old ones just felt very cheap. These, they have that old school style blister, like old school action figures where they actually glue the sides to the box. I'm assuming this was done to avoid theft, because for a long time we were having issues I would see on the Monster High Reddit of people who had clearly returned a doll, and the folks doing the return had no idea that they had swapped out the doll that was originally in the packaging with another one. So you would have people walk into Walmart and such with dolls on the shelf that were clearly returns, but being sold for full price. So yeah, very easy to open this one. No issues. Oh wow, she's actually really pretty. I'm just gonna go for it because these are play lines, so I don't really care about preserving the packaging or anything. Are there any of these extra bits? Ooh, her hair is dry though. Super dry. And I did hear this was an issue. So if you do get these, definitely recommend washing them, giving them a good conditioner wash to soften the hair, because she does feel pretty dry. And what else is here? Probably the back of her head is still... Okay. There we go. I'm going to leave the accessories in the blister because I just don't have any use for them, but I'll show y'all. She comes with this little plastic fan, which I'll probably repaint because I do like the designs in there, but I don't like that it's all pink. She comes with a little Polaroid photograph, I'm assuming of her and her friends at her Sweet 1600. This purse, which I have seen in reviews online, you can put stuff in there. And I think there's something in here. Is there? Oh no, not hers. The other girls, I think, come with like a little gift that's intended for Draculaura. So like they showed up to the party with a gift for Draculaura, and each one is different. This looks like a box. I do kind of want to pull it out now. Oh, is this her gift? So she comes with a gift too? Oh, that's cute. So Draculaura does come with her own gift. Looks like a little choker, I think. It looks like a choker. I don't know, but I'm going to leave that in there because I don't have use for it. The box is cute though. I would also repaint that. And then it comes with the actual invitation that she would have used in Universe to invite her friends to her party. So really cute. The art is better on the back. I still think it's a little juvenile for my taste. I definitely still like the OG Monster High art, but I think they've improved a lot, as shown by the fact that I willingly bought this doll, whereas majority of my G3 dolls that I own were gifts from friends. Okay, so again, like I said, her hair is really dry. It's quite frizzed out, but it does still feel like saran, so just washing it and boil washing it, dunking it a few times in boiling water after it's cooled down a bit. Don't put it in right when you boiled it. And then adding some conditioner and combing it through should fix this. I'm probably not going to do her whole head because I do want to keep the style of her bangs, which are very cute. They did a great job with these bangs. There's still some stray hairs every now and again. I do think the bangs that came in the first one that had the wonky face had better bangs, but I didn't care too much. The balloon I do think is an issue because I've seen in other reviews where they just don't hold it. They can't hold it. It's too heavy. So I think they could have engineered that a little better. It looks great in the packaging, but not practical. Like it's really heavy. Even just me holding it. It's particularly this part. I think if they had reinforced this part with a heavier material, it may have worked, but you never know. Her face is so pretty. I love the dark lipstick and the ombre effect going to the corner of her mouth. Her eye makeup is so pretty. The spider webs are really cute. Her hairstyle's cute too. Very simple, but it works. She has that Lolita silhouette going on. I think this... I'm not a fan of the big plastic pieces they're doing with all of these new outfits, but it works here. It very much looks like crinoline, so it's like a kind of alternative way to incorporate that type of design versus under the dress. The pattern of the dress is really cool too. Just a lot of filigree, pink filigree with spider webs and a lot of her motifs. Then she's got another layer with this pink, it feels a little bit like satin, but it's thick, it's not cheap feeling, and it is hemmed at the bottom, which is very much appreciated. Her shoes are quite simple but very cute. I do appreciate that they painted them this time. The top is black, and I might add some details myself later with the slightly translucent pink soles. And it's hard to tell because I'm looking through the camera lens on my phone. I'm trying to see what details these are. It kind of looks like cake. Like drippies on a cake. So maybe her shoes are meant to mimic that. And then this top part is just lace. You can tell in the molding it's just lace. But very cute. I love the motif. Very birthday. Her earrings are a bat. Like a candy bat or something. Cute. This is the only piece that I think they should have gone with a different material. Just because it's so yellow. They obviously intended it to be white. But it very much needed to be this type of white. This is like a cream color in person. And it's very obvious. I think it would have worked had this been the same color. And everything looked a little more aged, like even the pink shade. But I wonder if I can paint that myself and it'll be fine. But very pretty though, I do like it. I think it's supposed to be pearls. It's got the licensing. Wow, 2021. They were planning these for a long time. And her dress does end back here, but it does have the plastic sleeve so that it stays up. I appreciate that the pattern went all the way around too, because sometimes Mattel doesn't do that. They stop at the halfway point. I love her gloves. Love that she comes with gloves. Or her hands really are gloves. And these lace cuffs. So cute. And then her headpiece. Spider webs that look like pearls with a bow. Definitely going to paint that. She's so cute. The balloon is really the only miss with this doll. They really should have... I don't even know why this is so heavy. I think it's just the way that they made it because they added all this detail and they did paint it. And then they added these wings. And the wings, I'm assuming, had to be molded separately. So they had to make it in a way that you could attach them later. That's what it looks like. Because these are two pieces that are connected. So they probably slide in there and then they connect it together. But by doing that, it makes this piece really heavy. So yeah, balloon, miss. I might... try to figure out how she can hold it by herself later, but it's not a requirement for me that she holds this. Oh my gosh. I know that's like blasphemy to some people, but I have clear rubber bands that I bought a while back, so I can just use those. But I love her. She's so cute. And yes, it's been a while since I've bought a G3 Monster High doll. I do definitely think their designs are getting better. Some of them are still pretty mess and boring to me, but when they are good, they're very good. And at first I was going to wait until she went on sale, but with the tariffs, I've noticed prices increasing on dolls that previously were cheaper, so I figured I might as well just get her before any issues arise. And some of the newer re-releases of previously existing dolls, like the Core Refresh Draculaura, are being released with new packaging in celebration of their anniversary, but her facial screening is using a different printing method. From what I've read, it's utilizing the one Barbie currently uses, which looks pixelated, and I did not want to risk waiting too long, and they start doing that with these as well. But yes, I did not want to have to wait for her. I'm going to clean her up, definitely fix her hair, and I'm going to go for the Sweet Screams, I believe is what it's called, the San Diego Comic-Con Twyla. They made one that was similar to the Draculaura that they released for San Diego, but she was supposed to be a tie-in with the old Freak to Chic line. I did not agree with that. Her design was not good to me. She was very out of place with the rest of them. But I think the Sweet Screams Twyla is better. I think she still looks a little bit out of place, but overall, I really enjoy her design and her box. So wish me luck. I'm going to go for it, and hopefully I can snag myself at least one. That's all I want, just one doll. But I'm sure it's going to be a bloodbath because those Mattel Creations drops always are. I was about to wash her when I realized I could have, this is probably important for y'all. So the dress is one piece. It's also connected to the petticoat. So yeah, she just comes with one piece, and then all this stuff can come off fairly easily. It's very bendable plastic. It's not stiff, so very easy to undress her for that wash. Alright, it is a couple days later, and this is the final haul. I am very happy with everything that I found and received. I did go ahead and purchase a part 2 to swap out the discs, because the discs are exactly the same. So pretty much if you do get one of these big sets, you can find the individual volumes and swap out the discs if there's any issues. And I do think, so the 2 in here right now are the ones from this one, which I received from Amazon, that I believe came from a Half Price Books location. But notice the art is a lot crisper and looks similar to the ones originally in this case, whereas the ones that were originally in that set, notice how the pixelation is very obvious. So I'm still on the fence if this was just a printing error or not, because the font doesn't look like that. But I'm at least now happy to have a more solid copy. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. Maybe just sell it back or donate it somewhere, because I think one unethical return to Amazon is enough. But yeah, happy about that. I also did boil wash my Draculaura. I had to do it about 3 times because I don't know what it is about this particular doll, but I'm seeing on the Monster High Reddit that other people are having similar issues. Her hair is just very stubborn. And you can see here, this side is straighter than the other. I don't know how that happened, considering I dunked them at the same time when I boil washed her, but it did take 3 tries to get it this smooth and silky. And it is very soft, even though it still looks a little frizzy. I am happy with how she is right now. And she's very cute. So, there's that. But yeah, I recommend leaving the conditioner in when you boil wash her. It really makes a difference and keeps it sleek once she dries, or as she's drying. But that's pretty much it for this haul. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.